you crazy? The fall will probably kill you.
There's one guy brings the items, and the other guy pays.
What about the nurse that lives across the hall from you? She seems kind of nice.
Secure the engine room, then find me a date.
I'm multitasking.
Shoot him in the face.
I hate to shatter your ego, but this ain't the first time I've had a gun pointed at me.
You don't take your fucking hand off that case, it'll be your last.
Stop causing
Just.
Hey, maybe you haven't been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal. Look.
Marion, don't look at it. Shut your eyes, Marion. Don't look at it no matter what happens.
Smell it! You smell it! Ah! Hey, punks!
Nothing else in the world smells like that. All right. Except for horror movies in October. All right. I love the smell of horror movies in October. We got Grandpa Starscream here with us, Comic Verse, Tony, and John Gene Malone. I was going to call it, start digging. I mean, John, don't call me Gene Malone, but you like to be called that, so it's all. Big Jeff may be late, and Tony's omnipresent. I had people like yelling for some kind of password as soon as I started my show. I'm like, I can't talk to you. Welcome to Fright Night Friday, John Malone. We got welcome to Fright Night for real, and we got Rich in the chat. And this should be a fun one because we're going to be talking about Fright Night from 1986, not the Colin Farrell one. Not that it's not passable, but the original one is just, it's kind of like, you know, when Coca-Cola tried to get the new Coke, you know, it doesn't beat the Coca-Cola Classic, so that didn't last long. So I think this movie's got more staying power. Of course, it's got some great acting performances in it. I think Chris Sarandon is like the suave vampire. Everybody thinks he's like, oh, this is a good-looking guy. He's harmless. Kind of remind me maybe of like a real-life monster. Ted Bundy. Oh, like he's not too bad looking. We can trust him. Yeah, no, not so much. So you know how they always had the guy. It's like the homicidal maniac. He looks like a psycho. Well, in real life, it's not always the case. But with vampires, you always got the vampires, the suave, debonair, you know, smooth talker. Of course, he's got the ability to get in people's heads, you know. But we got. I took saved some pictures of it. Of the. We got some shots from the movie. Yeah, probably the most annoying character in the movie. No, definitely the most annoying character in the movie.
I loved him.
I feel bad for him.
I mean, he's kind of a dick, though. That's why I didn't care. I don't know. And you may reckon
I still feel bad for him because nobody believes
she was
him.
Married with Children.
Yep.
Good actress. Oof. No, I meant his buddy, not him. I think she needs to go to the dentist. All right. So here's Chris Sarandon. You may remember, I used to think that he was that his sister was Susan Sarandon, but actually I looked it up, so I would look like a fool anymore. They were married for 12 years, from 1967 to 1979, but Susan Sarandon kept their last name. Kept the last name. And here they are at the nightclub. Yeah, you can tell my internet. Yeah, but anyway, I thought they were brother and sister. I thought it was kind of like a, you know, like Julia Roberts and what's his name? I thought it was kind of like a situation like that, but I was wrong. But no more. I figured it out. It took me 20 years to figure it out, but figured it out. Why can't I remember Julia Roberts? Eric Roberts. You know, they're brother and sister, but so I thought it was like a situation like that, you know. But I'm going to share the Wikipedia, and if anybody else has got anything they want to say about it, you know, let me know. And this is a fun movie, though. I mean, this is probably one of my, I tell you, like looking back at it, I guess, yeah, it probably is. I'll put it in my top 5, at least, vampire movies, like up there with Bram Stoker's Dracula. Nosferatu. I like the remake better than the silent one personally, but that's just me. Lost Boys and Near Dark. Near Dark is like a, I always say about Near Dark, if it a major studio behind it, it would have been as big as Lost Boys that came out the same year. But
John Carpenter's Vampires.
It just didn't happen for it. All right. We're not talking about the remake. This is from 1985, Fright Night. It's an American supernatural horror film written and directed by Tom Holland. Not to be confused with Spider-Man. This is an older Tom Holland. In his directorial debut, by the way. Hold on. I got people interrupting me already. All right, people want the Wi-Fi passwords, and I told them to write it down. But okay, all right, we go. Film follows teenager Charlie. Sorry about that. I guess I'll have to start over. Fright Night is a 1985 American supernatural horror film written and directed by Tom Holland in his directorial debut. The film follows teenage Charlie Brewster, played by William Ragsdale, who discovers that his next-door neighbor Jerry Dandridge, played by Chris Sarandon, is a vampire. When no one believes him, Charlie decides to get Peter Vincent, played by Roddy McDowall, a TV show host who acted in films as a vampire hunter, to stop Jerry's killing spree. Now, I'm going to stop here for a minute because I want Tony. Do you think that his character is based on Peter Cushing? Because I totally think that's who it is.
Yeah,
it is a combination of Peter Cushing and Vincent Price because they wanted to get Vincent Price for the role, and he said no. So they took the names of Vincent Price and Peter Cushing and put them together.
Okay. I didn't catch that last part. Yeah, Vincent, you're right. So the film was released on August 2nd, 1985. It grossed $24.9 million at the box office. Since its release, it has received positive reviews from critics and became a cult classic and spawned the media franchise of the same name, including a sequel, and a remake in 2011 and some comic book series. So the plot is, of course, 17-year-old. We got somebody coming in. There's Jeff. He's here. Hello, Robert. Pops, it's good to see you. I think I added him. All right, let's try it again.
Oh.
There we go. There he is. I think, no. My computer is just causing trouble. It's a troublemaker today. There he is.
Hey,
all right,
Jack.
You got, okay, is he there? Okay, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, I'm not going to go over the plot because we're going to talk about that on our own. Okay, the cast is Chris Sarandon as Jerry Dandridge, William Ragsdale as Charlie Brewster, Roddy McDowall as Peter Vincent, Amanda Beers as Amy Peterson, Stephen Jeffries as Edward Evil Ed Thompson, Jonathan Stark as Billy Cole, Dorothy Fielding as Judy Brewster, R.J. Evans as Detective Lennox, Stuart Stern as Cook, Robert Korff as Jonathan, and Pamela Brown as Miss Nina, and also, I got them all. Nick Savage and Ernie Holmes portrayed the bouncers killed by Jerry. Playboy playmate Heidi Sorensen also appears as a prostitute, one of Jerry's victims. So it says in development, while writing the script for the film Cloak and Dagger, Tom, not the comic book characters, this is actually a good movie, though. I remember that movie. Tom Holland amused himself when he conceived the idea of a horror movie fan becoming convinced that his next-door neighbor was a vampire. But he did not initially think that his premise was enough to sustain a story. And he's like, what's he going to do, Holland asked. Because everybody's going to think he's crazy. The story percolated in his mind for a year, and finally one day, while discussing it with big local TV stations in the United States, had horror hosts such as Zach Harrell, Spenguli, and the nationally syndicated Elvira. So Holland decided it would be natural for the boy to seek aid from the local host. The minute I had Peter Vincent, I had the story. Charlie Brewster was the engine, but Peter Vincent was the heart. Once he conceived that character, Holland knocked out the first draft of the script in 3 weeks and was laughing the entire time, literally on the floor, kicking my feet in the air of hysterics. Holland wrote the film for himself to direct, in part because he was so disheartened by the film that was ultimately made for his previous screenplay, Scream for Help. And he had developed enough clout from his success on the screenplays for Class of 1984 and Psycho 2 and Cloak and Dagger that the head of Columbia Pictures said, let's take a chance on this hot screenwriter kid, not figuring that Fright Night would be as successful as it is ultimately became. In casting, the Peter Vincent character was named after horror icons Peter Cushing and Vincent Price. Holland specifically wrote the part for Price, but at this point in his career, Price had been so badly typecast that he had stopped accepting roles in horror films. Guy McLean, then the head of Columbia Pictures, suggested Roddy McDowall for the part. McDowall had already starred in the Holland-penned film Class of 1984, so Holland was immediately receptive to the suggestion. He understood the part, commented Holland, and he also understood what we could do with it, and he really wanted it. McDowall was partially interested in the genesis of the character in the film, as I performed as being in my late 20s or early 30s in the film clips of my old movies, all the way up to my 60s. When I watched Up Has Been, McDowall adding that the role interested him because I'd never played anything that old. Holland and McDowall built a lasting friendship, and McDowall eventually invited Holland to a dinner party where he introduced him to Vincent Price, who was flattered that the part was an homage to him and commented that the film was wonderful and he thought Roddy did a wonderful job. When Chris Sarandon's agent gave him a copy of the script, he replied, there's no way I can do a horror movie. But he decided to give the script a once over and was immediately captivated by it. I thought this was one of the best scripts I'd read in a long time, Sarandon said. Beautifully constructed. It was obvious that this was a labor of love, and it was clear that the writer-director's approach to it was one of wanting to have fun with the genre without making fun of it. The characters were beautifully drawn. Sarandon was worried about being typecast as a villain, but the script resonated with him because the story was deeper than just an average monster movie. It says, forgetting about vampirism, what this film is about is one level is an older man trying to take a younger man's girl away from him, commented Holland. Although he liked the screenplay, Sarandon was still leery of working with a first-time director, so he flew to Los Angeles to meet Holland in person. Holland and he had an immediate rapport and went to make several more films together. And Sarandon was odd that Holland had the film so completely mapped out that he literally described the movie shot by shot, all the way through page by page, scene by scene. It was basically the way we shot it. I don't feel like reading all that, so let's see what else we find some more. Like the filming, principal photography commenced on December 3rd, 1984, and wrapped on February 23rd, 1985. At the time of production, Fright Night was Columbia's lowest budgeted film, and they did not have high expectations for it, so they were focusing all their attention on the John Travolta, Jamie Lee Curtis film, Perfect, which, by the way, they were certain it was going to be a blockbuster. By the way, that movie was a huge flop and set back John Travolta's career like 5 years. And Jamie Lee Curtis, for that matter. Well, no, actually, she was in A Fish Called Wanda. She did all right, but not so much for Travolta because he'd had two stinkers back to back. They did. And usually in Hollywood, that's the death knell for you. He said they never even came to set, Holland said. I was left alone, which probably helped him. It was totally my film without studio interference. However, a few mishaps did occur during filming, including an incident in which Ragsdale broke his ankle while running down a staircase. The schedule had to be reorganized, but filming continued. Nobody panicked. In fact, I think the thing I'll remember most about this movie is everyone's spirit and humor. The cast and crew seemed to meld with a singular vision of making the best movie possible. Early in production, Holland invited Fangoria writer Abby Bernstein to visit the set as often as she liked, and she took him up on this offer. But the wrap party March, Bernstein wrote, "It's a fun and pleasant, but it lacks the intense camaraderie of the set." Filming took place at several locations around Los Angeles. The interiors were filmed at Laird International Studios, with the now defunct Walt Disney Residential Street set as south of Buena Vista Street. Burbank used as the exteriors of both the Brewster and Dandridge House. The Club Radio nightclub sequence was shot at Young's Market Company building, which had been also used as a nightclub in the 1984 film Body Double. Makeup and special effects. Richard Edlund was the head of visual effects, and his team had just completed work on Ghostbusters, which worked to the advantage for Fright Night. They had made all their mistakes of how to do the match shots and everything on Ghostbusters with their huge budget, Holland commented. So they really knew how to do it, and as inexpensively and efficiently as it could be done at the time. The most excruciating part of the makeup process for the cast was the contact lenses. In those days, the lenses were very hard plastic, which Steve Johnson hand-painted, throwing some glitter into the mix, lacquered and sanded. The cast could only wear them for a maximum of 20 minutes because they were virtually blind in them. Damn. And they were thick and painful and dried out their eyes. A set was made for Stark to wear when he was in his final pursuit of Peter and Charlie, but he kept tripping on the stairs. Holland told him to take one out, and he was then able to storm the scene. 3 sets were made by Amanda Bierce, but one of them causing her agonizing pain, which she initially tried to endure. When it finally became too much to bear, she took the contacts out, and the crew realized they had forgotten to buff them. Oh my God!
Jesus.
For the scene, in the scene of Mr. Brewster's bedroom, Jeffries kept his contacts in for nearly 40 minutes, resulting in scratches on his eyeballs for months afterward. Oh my God. For the transformation sequences, up to 8 hours were needed to prepare Sarandon's makeup. Sarandon was
show must go on.
Yeah. Sarandon was uncomfortable spending that long time in a chair doing nothing, and since he had experience doing his own makeup for his work on the stage, he volunteered to help. He did some of the stapling, and while the makeup men were applying prosthetics to his face and head, he worked on his finger extensions. Sarandon also often joked that the rubber fingers caused difficulties whenever he had to urinate. So costume supervisor Mort Schwartz constantly offered him help. And I said to Maury, "Thank you. No, I'll just use a coat hanger." Co-star Ragsdale recalled one instance when Sarandon spent an entire day in the makeup chair, and when he was finally fully transformed into the monster, a producer came and informed him that they were not going to be able to shoot the scene that day. Chris said, "Oh my God!" And Chris said, "Okay," and turned around and went and took it off. It was amazing, Ragsdale exclaimed. "I would have gone through the roof, but he didn't. His will had been broken by that point." The makeup for Evil Ed's wolf transformation took 18 hours. Oh my God! While he had the wolf head on, the crew began pouring what they thought was methyl cellulose into his mouth to create the illusion of saliva. But when Jeffries began to complain about the taste, Brian Wilson realized that they had been using prosthetic adhesive, which was gluing his mouth shut.
What the fuck's going on this set?
I don't know. On Christmas Eve, during the shooting of a scene where he's running down a staircase, Ragsdale accidentally tripped and broke his ankle, resulting in the film being temporarily put on hold until he could recover. Rod Martin, a trainer for the LA Raiders, came in every day to wrap the foot for me, and the shooting schedule was rearranged to put off the action sequence until it mended, said Ragsdale. Many scenes were shot with his foot in a cast, including the scene in which Jerry comes to Charlie's room to attack him. For shots in which Charlie's feet were visible, the costumers slit Ragsdale's shoes in several places, slipped them on, and then covered the portions of the white cast that peeked through the slits with black cloth. For the scene in which Jerry is carrying Charlie by the throat with one hand, Sarandon was simultaneously pushing Ragsdale along on a furniture dolly. The shot of Jerry pulling the pencil out of his hand was achieved by having a spring-loaded, collapsible pencil glued to his palm and an eraser tip loosely attached to the back of his hand. When he turns his hand and pulls the spring-loaded place from his palm out of a shot of monofilament, damn, that's a lot to say. A monofilament wire jerked away the tip. So when he turns it back, it appears as though he has pulled it straight through his hand. That's also how they do, like, you know, when they show somebody getting shot through the neck or something, or through the chest with an arrow. That's kind of how they do it. They have like a spring. It's not visible. And then when they trigger the spring, it flips back, and it looks like it does it so fast, it looks like it went through him. Yeah. The crew attempted to achieve the illusion of the cross scar vanishing from Evil Ed's forehead live on set, but the effect was a resounding failure in the pre-digital age. Edlund's crew was able to alter the film using optical photography to achieve the effect they wanted. Okay, I'm not saying no more of that, but there's a soundtrack. The soundtrack had some songs by Joe Lamont, Steve Plunkett. I don't know, Jay Giles. Oh, no, I'm sorry. By Jay Giles Band, Autograph, Ian Hunter, April Wine, Devo, Sparks, Evelyn Champagne King, White Sister, Fabulous Fontaines, and Brad Vidal. Okay. And then, anyway, it was released. Last release was 1,545 theaters. It made $6 million on its opening weekend. The domestic gross came to $24 million. It performed best of any horror film released during the summer of '85. And it was the second highest grossing film of 1985, surpassed only by Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge. Fright Night garnered critical acclaim, holding a 92% approval rating on Rotten Tomatoes. The average rating is a 7.2 out of 10. Roger Ebert of the Chicago Sun-Times gave the film 3 stars out of 4 and wrote, Fright Night is not a distinguished movie, but it has a lot of fun being undistinguished. Variety praised Sarandon's performance, writing that he is a terrific vampire, quite affable and debonair until his fingernails start to grow and his eyes get that glow. Colin Greenland gave a negative review for White Dwarf 75, stating that we have to be just I don't know what that's got to do with it. So never mind. Now it was released on home video in 1986, and I'm not reading no more because I am out of breath. All right. Hey kids, how you doing?
It was a good movie.
Cali Comics. He said, "Hold this while I piss."
They're freaking putting
anyway,
contact lenses in their eyes that
lost every viewer we had
that they didn't even buff, and then pouring adhesive in dude's mouth. Come on, man.
After I read all that, I looked up. We had no viewers. I think I just bored the shit out of everybody. I tried to go through it fast, but I don't know, guys. Anyway, I'm going to play some clips from it, and we'll comment after a few of them. Let me just get. I don't know if they're not in any order, but.
Please listen to me. Look. I'm telling you, Jerry Dandridge is a vampire.
Sure, and I'm Dirty Harry. Now, let me tell you something, kid. If I ever catch your ass down at the station house again, I'm throwing it in jail forever.
The guy from Die Hard 2.
Yeah, he was in Die Hard 2.
Yeah.
Like, well, all I like about it is this kid, nobody believes him, right? And like, so he's making out with his girlfriend, and she's like, well, okay, I want to go all the way. So they're getting ready to do it. He sees Chris Sarandon and the other guys is familiar, I'm assuming, right? That's always took it as that. Is familiar or carrying a casket into the house. And he's like, I think they murdered somebody. And it's, oh, you've watched too many movies, Charlie. I thought you wanted to do this, you know. But no, he already knows it. And we already know it too, because we saw it. But the audience and Charlie are the only ones that saw it. So he's the whole time he's trying to, oh man, this guy's dangerous. We got to do something about this guy. And so he starts snooping around, getting in trouble. He drags the police over there. You know, it just gets kind of bad. We'll play some more clips then.
What are you doing? Nothing. Oh, yeah? Would just make sure that it stays that way.
Kid.
Yeah, and that guy was, I don't like that guy either. He creeped me out. Like, he's always like this. What are you doing?
Huh? Don't you hate that guy? I mean, I could bitch slap that guy all day long.
Yeah, I like that guy. He said, what are you doing? He goes, what are you doing?
Yeah, man, you got the look there. You had that look.
And so he's kind of like the Renfield of this movie. Okay, I got a few more clips. We'll just get through them. I just want to play them for everybody.
But the phone wires have been cut.
I know.
Oops.
I did it.
Did it. I like where he's like, I got the scene here in a minute where he burns over that cross. He's like, the The master's going to make you suffer.
Unfortunately, none of your generation seems to be.
What do you mean?
I have just been fired because nobody wants to see vampire killers anymore.
All they want to see is demented teenagers being hecked up or whatever. Demented men in ski masks hecking up young virgins.
Yeah. Well, actually, that was kind of like what was going on in Hollywood with the horror genre at the time. The standard fare kind of fell out, like the Hammer Films type horror film where they're in the haunted manor. There's a mad scientist or a werewolf, or a vampire, and but there've been so many movies made like that. They're like Frankenstein's Revenge, Bride of Frankenstein, Frankenstein this, Frankenstein that, Dracula this, Dracula that. They've done so many times that, but yeah, this was like a fresh way of doing a vampire genre movie again. And it might have, do you think maybe this movie is responsible for kicking off like them making more vampire movies? Because like after this, Lost Boys came out, Near Dark came out. So maybe it kind of helped bring that back. I don't know.
I figure he was just.
But yeah, Roddy McDowell, he can't get the cops to help him. Yeah, he can't get the cops to help him, so he goes to Roddy McDowell because he don't know who else will, And Roddy McDowell don't believe him either at first, but then when they go over there, and he's like, "Okay," he says, "that didn't work." He's all right. We apologize for he's wrong. You're not a vampire. And then when they're walking
horror movie, or that's another scary movie trope. Is the cops never believe you.
Chris Sarandon walks past the mirror, and Roddy McDowell looks at the mirror and notices there's no reflection in the mirror. He's like, "Oh shit, Charlie was right." But he's like, "Oh no, we got to go. Okay, so sorry." He didn't want to alert him, but I think Chris Sarandon kind of knew.
He knew.
I think he knows I'm a vampire now. Yeah. And let's play some more clips.
Somebody has to stop.
We'll get through this.
Charlie, it's going to be dangerous going into that house all alone, isn't it?
You really believe me, you poor dope.
You're gonna get yours someday.
Oh, yeah, when? When I'm bit by a vampire?
kind of foreshadowing because, well, wouldn't you know?
He got me, Charlie. He bit me. You know what you're gonna have to do now, don't you? Kill me. Kill.
Got it here somewhere. All right, and I'll play this one.
Now, we wouldn't want to wake your mother, would we, Charlie? Then I'd have to kill her, too.
And I also like the part where they're in the nightclub scene and those two bouncers. I got that one on here, too, I think. Where the bouncers, he just tears those guys.
What's the matter, Charlie? Afraid I'd never come over without being invited first?
He always thought about the invited in type thing, And we got some more clips here. I don't know. Man, they're all out of order. I hate the way they do this on here. But anyway, I'll just play them, I guess. I've already lost myself where I'm at. But I probably put the same ones on here twice, so I apologize if that's the case. But here's where they're confronting the end of it.
You have to have faith for that to work, Mr. Vincent.
Remember.
And now I think it's another scene in Charlie's bedroom. I'm not sure, though.
What's all this for?
Self-defense. Not that I think I'll need it. He'll be dead before nightfall.
And then, of course, if I can find where the kid... Oh, here he is. Here's where his obnoxious friend who thinks everything's a joke finally realizes this ain't no joke, but he's going to be a vampire now.
You don't have to be afraid of me.
I was
He
afraid.
tells it like, "Are you tired of all this?" Like, okay, here's another part where he says the other part.
You can't kill me here. I don't want to kill you, Charlie. I want you to bring Peter Vincent to my house, just the two of you.
And oh well, I won't play that one because I played them out of order, but I was supposed to play this one first because they're all out of order.
Shouldn't lose your temper, Charlie. It isn't polite.
It reminds me of the scene in Superman.
What happened? Bouncer shows up, and he's like, "This guy. This is what happens to the bouncer."
You want chicken, man? You go someplace else.
Out of my way.
Move.
I'm always muted because internet's. Never mind. Did it play at all? Because I didn't even see it play.
Yeah, it played it because I was going to say fun fact that bouncer played one of the motorcycle guys in Friday 13 Part 3. You all right, buddy?
I didn't see it play at all, so I hope it played.
Kill her.
Anyway.
That is a character in a movie. That isn't even my real name. I kill her. That is a character in a movie.
They're all playing, Matt. You just can't see them on your end.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. I think we lost.
We might have temporarily lost him. Oh, he's back.
Oh, there we go.
Are you back on hotspot or? And you're muted. You can hear me.
No, I'm here. It's playing 10 seconds after you see it. On my end.
Oh.
I'm the one hosting it, and it's doing that to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clips left. I'm just gonna play them and not say nothing. I don't know.
Don't you want me anymore?
Yes, I'll take her.
I'll take 2, please. All right. We got okay, I don't know. I think is this where they're sneaking up in the house? It's like, oh no, he's welcome back.
Stop.
I'm going to have to start over. Hold on, I'll do it.
Well, what do we have here? Vampire killers?
All right. I'll just keep it playing. I got another clip. Wait a minute, because I haven't seen it yet, so it'll come up and mute me here in a minute. And then, of course, he shoots him. Yeah, got that.
Stop.
Then we got a couple more, and we'll get through.
It's not my fault, Charlie. You promised you wouldn't let him get me.
Sorry, Charlie. I keep thinking of that tuna commercial.
Easy.
All right.
Not the front door.
There we
Let's
go.
go around the back and sneak in.
So much for plan A.
Too late now. Yeah, it's too late now. The cat's out of the bag. They know you're there. And then we got probably my favorite part is when he starts making fun of Peter Vincent. You know.
Welcome to Fright Night.
For real.
This is Brewster. Thank God the phone wires have been cut. I know.
I had to play that one again. I just like that one.
You have to have faith for that to work, Mr. Vincent. Remember?
I never saw, like, every time I watched. Okay, I'm still muted there. Okay.
No, you're good.
Every time I watch this movie, I never saw, like, Marcy, the pain in the ass neighbor of the buddies the same way, though. You know, it's like, y'all don't know, but she's actually, they shit on her all the time. But you didn't see Fright Night, have y'all? I think she's just like this one character. Well, anyway, they succeed in the end, of course. And I don't know. It's a good movie. I like it. I don't know if you guys want to talk. I'm about it. Let's talk about it. What are some parts that stand out to you guys? I'll let you guys talk.
For me, I feel bad for the kid because he's trying to get everybody to believe him, and nobody believes him. And that's for me. That part is like the whole hot idea behind the movie. It's like the kid who cries wolf.
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was good. I thought it was a good movie. I didn't like the remake, but I thought it was good.
I thought it moved along good, and it was like it was more of kind of a fun Halloween movie type adventure. Not super scary necessarily.
Yeah.
But just cool, you know.
You're in charge. It's not really scary, but it's kind of like they kind of take all like it's actually a movie for fans of horror movies.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like a love letter, like the people that grew up watching like Peter Cushing and all that, or like watching the Elvira or Finguli, you know, Joe Bob Briggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was a good movie to bring your girlfriend to the theater.
Yeah.
Because you knew she was going to.
What are you going to say, Tony?
She was going to cuddle at some point.
Now, I was just going to go along with what y'all said. You know, it's a great.
I like that Tony talk about it.
I was going to say it's a great homage to the stuff of the past while staying relevant in the 80s. I fell in love with it the first time I watched it. I loved, you know, you don't get to see too much in the movie, but, you know, Chris Sarandon took the role of Jerry, who by all parts is a homicidal maniac, but he tried to do aspects that made him human, you know, like the eating of the fruit. You know, most bats are fruit. They eat fruit. So that's where the apples came from. And then it was Sarandon's idea to make their connection with Amy as being a past lover, because you see two parts in the movie where you can see him as remembering his life before he was a vampire, and you know, and he didn't like being turned into a vampire because, you know, he tells Charlie, I'm gonna give you something I've never had, a choice. And then later on, when he talks to Amy, he said, "There's somebody I knew a long time ago." So you can see some remorse in the character where he just wishes he was still human.
Yeah. And that's kind of like, remember Interview with a Vampire when Stat tells Louis, I'm going to give you the choice that I never had.
Yeah.
You know.
But one other fun fact, I'll only bring this up in the remake one time, because in the original, in this version, you can't be invited, vampire can't be invited, or vampire can't come in your house unless they're invited. But I always did at least love that scene in the remake where Colin Farrell pulled the gas line, blew the house up, and he said, "You don't need an invitation if there's no house."
That is pretty cool.
Yeah,
and,
to me, it's more of a
just like
fun
the way it was like
movie than
it's very 80s. You know, you got the soundtrack. You know, go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. Yeah.
Yeah, and like, well, they have like a cool soundtrack, a very 80s soundtrack, but it's like full of nostalgia, and I really enjoy it. I think it's great. I mean, I thought the characters were believable. I thought, like, I think to me, Raleigh McDowell and Chris Sarandon are the standout. That's why I kind of highlighted them when I was reading the Wikipedia thing. You know, especially like they sound like they were all troopers about this movie too. Though I mean, you think about all the like those contacts. They forgot to buff the contacts. Can you imagine how their eyes felt like?
Dude.
I bet they were hurting for a while. And then one guy wore them for 40. But then like, I could not do that though. I mean, even like today, you have smartphones. You might be able to entertain yourself with something, but sit in a chair for 8 hours while somebody puts all this makeup on you. I'm kind of claustrophobic anyway, so like having all that on your face would probably mess with me. But like, and I can see why Sarandon didn't want to do it. But he played a great bad guy. He also, if anybody out there watching, although I don't look like there's anybody watching right now, but if you're watching the replay, Chris Sarandon. We probably bored him to death when I was reading the. I don't know. Anyway, we're still tweaking the times on this. Like I think 8 o'clock is going to have to be the time for this show. I think I don't know if 6 o'clock on Friday is a good time, but I don't know. We're going to have to figure it out. Anyway,
I sat in a chair.
What's going to be
to get Spock ears for an hour and a half, and it's a chore, man. And it was only an hour and a half.
Well, I mean, that wasn't like 8 hours though. I mean, like you didn't have to put up.
No, but I mean,
plaster cast. You know how they used to do that? Like
you can't move. You can't move.
I don't know if I want Spock ears that bad. But anyway, I was going to say, you know, Chris Sarandon was also the king in The Princess Bride. That's the two movies I always remember for. Although I know he's done many more. And like I said, I used to think it was Susan Sarandon's brother. But they were actually married for 12 years, and she kept his last name when they got divorced in 1979. So, but he was like he said, he was worried about being typecast or making this movie. But I mean, he plays a good asshole. So I mean, it's kind of like, you know, like the guy James Spader. He's a great actor, but he's good at playing a dickhead. You know, it's a total dick. Like any 80s movie that you had James Spader in, you go, he's going to be the dick. He's going to be the a-hole, you know. I'm trying to cut down the cussing, so I promised my mom. So, but I think it's a very, I give it a positive review. Totally give it a positive review. It's also kind of like this, like the whole movie, this kid's being gaslit. Basically, it's this kid getting gaslit by a vampire the entire movie. And like,
yeah,
I like how the vampire just like, he doesn't let it go. He's like, I'm gonna keep messing with this kid. You know, he just keeps messing with him, and it's like a game to him at some point. It seems like it's more of a. Did y'all get that feeling? Like the vampire, it was kind of like a game to him, like messing with this kid.
He underestimated Charlie.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
well, also like Raleigh McDowell.
He's trying to play mind tricks with the kid.
Raleigh McDowell had to find his courage, you know, to help him. He's like, I ain't going out there. Are you crazy? That's my reaction. I'd have probably been like, I'm staying in the house with some garlic around my neck and a bottle of holy water. But I really liked the movie. So I'll let you guys, we'll go around and you can give your final assessment of it. I'll start with Tony. I know Tony probably is a bigger fan of this movie than we are, but I love this movie. But I think this is his favorite vampire movie, so I'll let him start.
Dude, I've been watching this movie for 40 years. I mean, since the day it come out, this has always been one of my favorite movies because I love the cast. I love, you know, Roddy and William and Stephen and Amy and or Amanda and all them. And Chris Sarandon knocked it out of the park. This was the movie that made me a Christopher Sarandon fan because I watched this, then I watched The Princess Bride, then I watched, you know, Child's Play, you know, so forth and so on. And then, you know, finding out that Chris Sarandon did the voice for Jack Skellington in A Nightmare Before Christmas, and he actually sung, was just freaking awesome. I love the fact that Peter, you know, Roddy McDowell absolutely loved the fact he loved the role of Peter Vincent. Which, fun fact, Peter Vincent, when he says that's not even my real name, his real name was Herbert McHoulihy. So, I mean, but anyway.
No wonder he changed his name. Herbert doesn't really make you think it kind of scary. You're not really scared of that name.
You know, and I didn't find out till later when I was reading the Now comics, because I've been avidly trying to get those. I just need 4 left. That this movie actually takes place in Iowa. So I mean, they never actually say it in the movie, but it takes place in Iowa. So, that's pretty interesting. I love
I
this
didn't know
movie.
that either.
I love part 2. Fun fact about part 2: the guy that did this one, Tom Holland, he did not do part 2. He was busy doing something else, and him and Roddy McDowell were supposed to meet the head of Carlco Pictures to discuss possibly doing Fright Night Part 3, but unfortunately, the day that they decided to have the meeting with them, that night, it happened to be Jose Menendez, and of course we know what happened to Jose Menendez and his wife. They were murdered by their sons. So Fright Night Part 2 was. Oh yeah, Fright Night Part 2. The distribution was in legal hell. That's why you haven't been able to get a physical copy of that movie without paying bank for it. So I mean, but yeah, that's why there was no Fright Night Part 3. They were Roddy and them were trying to fight like hell to get it made. Now Tom Holland owns the rights to the movie now, so he's talked about doing a Fright Night Part 3, and just ignoring Part 2 and just picking up from Part 1. But overall,
sci-fi, yeah.
No, I'm gonna say overall.
All you sci-fi. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, Matt.
I've got a delay.
I
just wanted to throw out there that in case anybody forgot, Roddy McDowell played Cornelius in Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, he was also in The Legend of Hell House. That was a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
He has a great.
Go ahead, Carly. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh no,
man.
You're cool, brother. I was gonna say I have to let personal bias infect my grade, because I've loved this movie since day one. I say it's my favorite vampire movie because there's 3 Draculas: Lugosi, the one with Ullman, and anything with Christopher Lee. I put those in a plateau by themselves. So by doing that, my favorite vampire movies is Fright Night, Near Dark, and The Lost Boys. So I give this movie a 5 just because I'm biased as hell and I don't care.
Yeah. See, I forgot that one is a good. The Blood of Dracula. The Blood of Dracula is awesome with Christopher Lee.
Yeah.
Peter Cushing was always like the great at playing Van Helsing. But like I said, I love the fact that he pays tribute to Peter Cushing and Vincent Price in this film. And you got Roddy McDowell was perfect for this character because he was like a classically trained British actor. Yeah. And it just kind of adds more, I don't know, like gravitas. So to speak. There's I could say any fancy word to make it sound redneck. Just call it gravitas. But anyway, just give me $1 and I'll do it. Anyway, just kidding. But yeah, I just like this movie a lot. It's not my favorite, but yeah, it's up there. Like I said, the Blood of Dracula, I think was the name of that one. One of the ones I like that Christopher Lee did. Of course, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I like the 1970 Werner Herzog Nosferatu, but actually the silent one's got a creepy vibe to it. If you ever want to be creeped out, just watch it. And you know what I used to do? I used to watch the silent version of Nosferatu with like a soundtrack. I'd put like Metallica or something on it and watch it. Yeah.
Dude,
like, Ride the Lightning or something, or Master of Puppets.
No, I was just gonna say if I could just have a minute, there is a version of Nosferatu that is scored with music by Typo Negative.
Ooh,
no shit! Oh,
yes.
I'd like to see that.
I saw Typo Negative live. They opened for Pantera of all bands.
Really? I got this guy showing you can get a bucket of 350 Reese cups at Costco. And good thing I don't have a Costco around here. All right. I don't know why somebody sent me that. I'm trying to lose weight, anyway, whatever. But yeah, also I would put Lost Boys on the list. I wish this updated. I wish it said it wanted to update before I started because that might be my problem. Anyway, and another. I don't think this one. There's a couple of vampire movies from the '80s I don't think get enough love, and this is one of them. And Near Dark is the other one. Everybody wants to talk about the Lost Boys. And look, I like the Lost Boys, but nobody ever wants to talk about this movie. And I like this movie just as much as the Lost Boys and Near Dark. So I give it. I don't know what else I can say about it. So that's all I can say.
I don't know. For me, there's like certain times of the year, like Christmas time. There's certain movies that I'll always watch when they're on.
The internet just thrown me off today. Sorry, the internet threw me off.
Times,
right from the start. So I
like
apologize
Halloween.
for being
This is when
when
Halloween comes around.
Did anybody hear anything?
Fright Night is one of
I'll
those
start with
movies
Jeff,
that.
work our way around.
I don't know if you can hear me.
I hear you.
Okay. Yeah, but when Halloween comes around, this movie is always one of the movies that I watch. This, and the Friday the 13th, the Nightmare on the Elm Streets, the Halloweens, all those. This one's always in the rotation that my inner child wants to see, But I give it a 5.
I like the movie. I don't know if it's what is the grade? 5 is the highest grade.
Yeah,
I guess
I'd give it a 4.
Yeah,
I like the movie.
Okay.
I like that it was part comedy, part serious. I feel bad for the kid. I feel bad for her because she wants to have sex and he's more concentrated on, hey, there's a vampire next door. I mean, come on, guy, get your priorities straight. I mean, you got this gorgeous chick next to you. I mean, she's willing. Come on, do something about it.
Well, he was willing. I guess he saw some dead body being drug out. Yeah, he got freaked out.
And
well,
they're
seeing a dead body being dragged around in a coffin's not a very good aphrodisiac, John.
with the teeth that the vampires have.
Tony, what do you imagine? Let's give us your final judgment.
Something. Whoa.
Go ahead, Gene. Finish what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you imagine with the teeth that they had, the vampires? I mean, come on, have some Listerine. They must have bad breath like freaking crazy.
Well, yeah. I'd hate to have dental work done.
Nah.
But,
No, it's because if you have dinner with them, you're probably dinner.
We're not vampiring.
My final judgment is that it's. Go ahead.
Well, you're in luck because they don't eat food, so.
Chris Sarandon had that line where
Go
he
ahead,
had to
Tony. I was
say,
just making a joke.
"You have to have faith, Mr. Vincent."
Yeah.
And there's so much teeth in his mouth, it came out more like Mr. Vincent.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because I think this is one of the only movies where you have to have faith to make the cross work. But like Matt pointed out yesterday in a live show, all he had to do was place the cross on Evil Ed and it burned him. So, I mean. But yeah, my final judgment is if you haven't watched it, go watch it. It's a fun little movie. You'll enjoy it.
Maybe.
And I was going to say the last thing I'm going to say, and I'll shut up, is if you want to watch something that's fun, go on YouTube to Fandom Spotlight. They have a Fright Night reunion panel for August 2023. It's got Evil Ed. It's got Charlie Brewster. It's got Jerry Dandridge. It's got Billy Cole. It's got Amy Peterson. They're all talking about the movie. Okay, I'll shut up. That's it.
No, you're fine. I was just making a joke. I think maybe looking back at that scene, maybe it was because the cross actually made contact with him, but like it wasn't going to repel him, I guess. I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. But I like this movie. I like this movie a lot. I guess we'll end it there. It's a good movie. I'll tell everybody what's coming up. For anybody that's watching or may be watching later on in the future. If I can get my computer to do it, this is going to be another adventure, though. All right. Hold on. I don't think it's going to work, but I'll try it. So this is coming up on Sunday at 6 p.m. We'll talk about the new comic day previews and all that jazz. And then Tuesday for comic conversations, my guest will be Nerdy Geek Comics. And then, okay, when's the next thing? Okay, I got to think it through here. Oh, I missed something already. Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern, we'll be reviewing Sleepaway Camp for 1983. It's a very, very campy movie with a very shocking ending. I wouldn't say it's the most shocking. I mean, it's not like the shockingest ending. Shocking, I guess, not. It's not brutal. It's not like like you have someone like have a brutal ending. This has got more of a shock value ending to it, And of course, we have the Comic Lounge, which I changed the thumbnail to it for Halloween, but we'll just use the other one for this one. And then it's going to be on Friday, Friday 13th, part 1. I don't know if it showed up or not. I'm still seeing Comic Lounge.
It did.
Yep. We lost Matt.
We lost Matt. He'll be right back after these important messages.
Oh, he'll be back. He has to end the show. Otherwise, we're stuck in live limbo.
Yeah, I've already watched Fright Night twice. I got to watch Fright Night 2 pretty quick here.
Yeah, I watched Fright Night Part 2 right before this came on here.
Oh, okay.
Another vampire movie that was pretty cool was John Carpenter's Vampires.
I love that movie.
I don't know what
Well, I got to check that one out. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Kind of brutal, but it's funny.
It's
So it kind of
awesome.
balances out.
Yeah. Never really thought James Woods would have played a hell of a vampire killer, but he did pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, and apparently he hates horror movies. He hates science fiction movies, but he pulled it off. So,
yeah.
And Tony, you got a show starting at 4, right? Or 7 at where you are?
Yes, 7 o'clock my time, 8 o'clock Eastern.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're going to talk about
5 o'clock.
I'm just going to end it. Go ahead, Tony. I'm sorry. I'm going to end it because
no. I'm just going to say we're going to kick me again. We're just going to talk about our favorite possession films. When I say possession, person, place, thing, object. Exorcist, Amityville, Evil Dead, Trick or Treat. All the good stuff. Christine. Any other things I can't think of. All that good stuff. That's it.
Ooh, that's a tough one.
Well, I mean, it ain't a rank them. We'll just talk about them.
Yeah.
Does the Omen count?
Yeah, I'm going to throw in those too. I'm going to throw
out. The Omen I
say possession, but I mean, we're going to throw in movies like The Omen and Rosemary's Baby. You got to throw those in there too.
Oh yeah, probably. Yeah.
Any kind of supernatural type of shit.
Whatever happened to Baby Jane?
Hell,
if you've never seen that movie,
count.
You have to watch Whatever Happened to Baby Jane.
Ooh.
I've seen it.
I don't think
that's a disturbing movie.
All right, guys. I'm not gonna try to show any more thumbnails because the last time I did, I got kicked out. So Friday 13th will be Friday at I guess 7 p.m. I don't know yet. But anyway, 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. Just stay tuned for that. But like coming in the next month, Friday nights are going to be like reserved for horror movies all the way around. But my internet's getting ready to go out or something. I don't know I got to redo something with my computer. But before I get kicked out again, let's just end it. Everybody have a good night and be sure to load up on garlic, holy water, and some crucifixes because you never know who your neighbors are.
Come, son of Jarrell! Kneel before Zod!
Snoochie boochies.